Griffin, and this is the Student Voice. We're here today interviewing Mr. Shrest, and our panel today is Emily Doobie, Cameron Sluzars, me, Lacey Griffin, Mr. Shrest, Madeline Quigley, and Nolan Johnson. So, Mr. Shrest, what did you think of the first band concert we had?
I'm very happy with the first band concert. I am very, very impressed with the junior high band and their ability to make progress, not just from the beginning of the year up to the concert, but from year to year. Every band is different, and this band is exceptional, quite frankly. The junior high band is a great band this year. I'm very, very happy to have them. Everyone is very passionate, and we essentially take, band kids know this, but maybe people that are not in band don't know this, but we take some students who are at very, very low experience levels and bring them to extremely high levels. You know, band is one of the only subjects, or I should even say music is really the only subject where, you know, if you are making even a very, very small mistake, you notice right away. And, you know, if you got a question wrong on an English quiz or on a math test, it may not mean the end of your career, but if you were a professional musician and you sounded bad, you would be in tough shape. So we worked very hard from the beginning of the year, and we had a very successful concert because the students are so dedicated and so intensely interested in what we're doing.
That's very nice of you to say.
What was the best song your band played in the last concert?
You know, I don't ever like to think of a concert that way. And that's just my personal opinion, and I'm sure the students would feel much differently about that. Everyone has their own favorite song. But every day is different with music. You know, there's nothing that's ever going to make you say that this was the best concert ever or this was the best song ever. I'm just happy to say that we played everything that we had very, very well. I can't really pick a favorite or say that one was better than the other. It's a really good question, but maybe I'm too picky for that.
Mr. Shrest, what are the differences between beginner band, regular band, and jazz band?
That's a great question. Let's start with beginner band. Beginner band is a lot like our junior high is grades 7 and 8. Beginner band is a lot like what students who are currently in the regular concert band took when they were in 5th grade. So it's students who have never played an instrument ever, or who maybe played an instrument and weren't successful, or want to switch instruments completely. So those students can all join the beginner band. We take them from page 1 of our method book, where they learn their very first notes and how to hold the instrument, how to put it together. The concert band itself is more advanced than that, and it's designed for students who have played for, hopefully, in 5th grade and 6th grade. Not everyone has, but we try to do our best to take everyone and bring them up to the same level. We work on music is graded on a difficulty level, usually of grades 1 through 6. 1 is very, very easy, and 6 is extremely difficult, like a professional level music. And we try to take our junior high band from what they did in elementary school in 5th and 6th grade, which usually grade 1 music, and to bring them into grade 2 and 3 difficulty level music. Typically we're very, very successful with that. The jazz band, I've actually redesigned our jazz band this year to be slightly different than we've had it in the past, but we are learning things called head charts, which are basically the melodies and chords to very, very famous jazz songs. Everyone's learning to play the melody, and we're learning the rules of improvisation, or creating melodies as we go, and everyone is learning how to improvise solos, and we are listening to lots of professional jazz artists and imitating what we hear on the recordings. So beginner band is really, it's what it sounds like. It's for absolute beginners. Concert band is for anyone that wants to play classical style music, and jazz band is very similar, but studying more intensely into the jazz idiom.
Would you recommend students to join band or beginner band?
I would, and you know, when I teach a 7th grade music class where all the 7th graders come to see me at least for one trimester before the end of the school year. And I actively recruit in those classes. I'm not going to lie. I find the students that I think really enjoy music the most, and if they're not already in band and if they're not already in chorus, I'll say to them, why aren't you in band? You should be in band. I think that I have a high success rate of inspiring students to do that, and we always have fun when we join beginner band. Beginner band is great, especially if you've never played before. It's a really exciting thing to do, and it's not like any of the other subjects we do during the day at school. even a lot unlike the music class that the students would take. And so it expands their mind, and they usually are pretty excited and happy to do that.
What are some of your hobbies outside of music?
If it has nothing to do with music, I do a lot of things that are not musical. I read a lot. I like science and I like math. I like economics, so I read a lot of papers and magazines that have to do with those things. I do fundraising in the town that I live in to raise money every year for the 4th of July fireworks. And I usually raise with help. It's not just me. I have friends that help me. But we raise in the neighborhood of $20,000 to $25,000 a year to buy explosives. And I hire a pyrotechnician to come in and we set the fireworks off. And I'm probably the only teacher in the entire school district that has federal clearance to transport high explosives over state lines. So I love fireworks. I think fireworks are so fun, and I actually don't light them off. They're so incredibly dangerous. It's really scary. So I'm not really interested in lighting them, but I am interested in making the town happy by putting on a really good show. And as a band director, isn't that what I do for a living? So I really like to do that. It's a lot of fun. We have live music and concerts, and then at the end of the night, there's a big fireworks display. And I have pets. I love my pets. I have a dog and a cat. But my favorite thing is I have a saltwater fish tank. And you would think that I would be interested in the fish, but I actually prefer the invertebrates. I like crabs and snails and corals of all different shapes and sizes. And I have just a very, very small coral reef tank in my house, but I love my fish tank. It's one of my favorite things. That's a good question, Kate.
And where do you live so people can go see this amazing fireworks show?
I live in Jamestown, and I post on the band website, which is www.ewgbands.com. At the end of every school year, I post the date and location of the fireworks. I live in Jamestown, and so the fireworks are in Jamestown. They're right downtown at the end of Narragansett Avenue. The fireworks are launched off a barge in the middle of the bay, right in front of the Newport Bridge. And so really you could be anywhere in downtown Jamestown or even in downtown Newport and see the fireworks. It's a pretty big show.
Wow.
Also on that topic, would you ever have your band students play there?
You know, it's the summertime, and so we don't meet as a band for rehearsal. It's not something that I wouldn't consider, but usually what we do is we hire the Jamestown Community Band, since it's made up of Jamestown residents, to play, and they do a lot of patriotic stuff. So that's kind of the tradition, and that actually has happened for longer than I've been involved in the fireworks, so it's not really my decision. It's kind of a tradition. It's not a bad idea. I would, if something happened where they couldn't play, I would absolutely step in and volunteer my people.
That would be pretty cool if you had those students. They would have a lot
It
of
would,
fun.
you know,
that would be
the
really fun.
person that conducts the Jamestown Community Band is a former student of mine, not an Exeter West Greenwich student, but actually someone who student taught with us here. Her name is Miss Clark, and she came to teach our band students here, and she's the band director at Prout right now. But she sometimes recruits people that she knows are great players into the community band. It's not just people from Jamestown, so if people were interested, they could join that band and then play at the fireworks.
How do you think the band will play on the upcoming concert?
We're working really hard right now, and what is cool about our band is that we spend the first 3 months of the school year working on 3 songs for our first concert. And from the end of the first concert to the next concert, there were 30 days, 30 calendar days, not 30 rehearsal days, 30 calendar days. And we're completing a brand new program of 3 more pieces of music in those 30 days. So the intensity's been ramped up, and everyone seems to be meeting expectations. There are problems still with some small parts of rehearsal, but with 2 weeks to go, I think we've got plenty of time to fix those things, iron out those little details, and I actually think it's going to be an even better concert, a lot more magical than the first.
What instrument do you major in?
When you go to music school, when you go to college for music, you have a primary instrument. And my primary instrument is percussion, which means classical percussion, timpani, snare drum, bass drum, cymbals. I play an awful lot of drum set. I'm a jazz musician primarily, and so I play a lot of jazz on the drum set. But as a music teacher, you learn how to play all the instruments if you don't already learn how to play them. You take piano when you're in college. All music teachers have to graduate college by passing piano proficiency tests, so I play the piano. And my band students know that in class, I actually play all of the instruments with the kids. I'm not awesome at every single one, but I like playing all of them. Professionally, I play just percussion.
And like, how many instruments can you play?
I can play all of the woodwind instruments, so that's all of the flutes, oboes, bassoons, all of the clarinets, all of the saxophones. Most of the brass instruments, I can play trumpet, trombone, French horn, baritone horn, tuba, all of the percussion instruments, because that's part of what I do. I learned how to play the string instruments when I was in college. I don't teach orchestra, and so I haven't kept those skills current. I can play the violin, okay, but I would never play it in public. And I am a dork, and I bought an accordion over the summer last year, and I taught myself how to play the accordion. And I sing.
Wow. When is your next band concert? So maybe people that are watching can come and see it.
The next band concert, which by the way the junior high jazz band is also playing at, is the 19th of December, which is a Wednesday night, and we're playing at 7 p.m. in our school auditorium.
Do the beginner band students ever?
I don't do concerts with the beginner band at the beginning of the school year. They will become, once they reach a certain level, I integrate them into the regular band. So they'll never have a concert where they're just the beginner band. They'll join the concert band, probably for the March concert.
What are some of the songs that you're working on right now?
Well, right now it's all holiday music. And so I would say that the most popular song that we're doing right now is from the movie The Polar Express, and that's the song Believe. Everyone seems to like that one the most. It's a lot of fun to play. It's a nice arrangement of it. It's not the original, but it's pretty close. And we're doing two others, which are medleys, which means they have multiple songs within one arrangement, and those are the Christmas Canon and the Holiday Procession. One of them is a little bit slower than the other. They contrast. They're Christmas carols. It's great. It's a great time of year to play music because there's everyone's favorite songs.
Okay. Well, how many people are in band?
The junior high concert band, I think, has 94 students this year. The jazz band has not quite 30, and the beginner band, I think, only has 5 or 6. That has changed a little bit because of ability levels and some people moving up, but roughly.
You have some
yeah.
people up.
At what age did you like pick up your first instrument?
My family on my mother's side of her family is very, very musical. My mother played the piano, and so as a child she would teach piano lessons in my house, and I was very interested in piano probably from when I was 2 or 3 years old, and I didn't take formal lessons until I was in kindergarten, but I studied piano for a very long time, right through high school, and I also took percussion lessons starting in 7th grade. So a long time. I'm old, so I've played for a long time.
Would you recommend students to join normal band or beginner band?
If they've never played an instrument before, ever, then they need to be in beginner band because concert band is too advanced for them and they will not be able to catch up. They need individualized attention in beginner band where I can say to a student, this is not working for you, let's try this. I can hear more easily when there aren't 93 other people in the room. I can hear and assess what their problems are and I can take care of them a lot more efficiently. If they had, for example, if they were a student that moved into the school district and they were in band at their old school, they should skip beginner band. They would fit in probably right away with our regular band.
You sing a lot during band. Were you ever a chorus teacher?
When a few years ago I taught chorus, but I wasn't very good at it, and I traded with Mr. Runner because he's a much better chorus teacher than I ever was. And so I do sing and I love it, but that's it for me. I'm a band guy.
We're going to be back in a few minutes with Ryan McKenna and Mr. Runner, the chorus teacher. But don't go away. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Hi, I'm Ryan McKenna, here with the second half of the Student Voice. Our panelists today are Nick Pedraca, Ali Lizette, Sophia Zabo, and Nolan Johnson, and our special guest is Mr. Runner. So, Mr. Runner, when did you start working here?
I started working here, just a few years ago, 1992. It was a beginning music program. What I mean is that the music program was just beginning to develop because it was a brand new high school and a brand new junior high school. It was very small. We had a very small band of about 22, 23 band members. At the time, there was no chorus. We also had a small jazz band in the junior high and the senior high, but there was only maybe 7 or 8 kids involved in the jazz band, so it was very small.
How did the program change or grow over time?
Well, over time, it was my mission, and it's always been my mission, to get as many students involved in music as possible. It's such a wonderful, awesome thing that the kids really enjoy it, and they deserve the education of music and the experience. So I try to get more kids involved, and within only 3 or 4 years, the concert band had doubled in size to almost 50. The jazz band approached the size of about 20, and I was beginning to develop a chorus program. But I mean, eventually there was so many students that wanted to take music classes, we needed to hire another music teacher. So we hired Mr. Sherrist. That allowed me to build the chorus program, and we started with 3 kids in chorus, and then it grew up to about 80 kids in chorus. Then we created the junior high chorus program, and so it's huge now.
How many kids were involved before it became big?
Well, if we're talking about concert band, originally when I started it was 22 or 23, and then now it's about 100 in the senior high concert band. Same thing with the junior high concert band. Went from the small numbers to the big numbers. Like I said, the chorus started with 3 kids and grew to about 80, and it fluctuates. And right now we have almost 60 students in the junior high chorus. It's huge.
Do you know what other teachers have been here? Music teachers?
We've had a few other music teachers. You guys probably are familiar with Miss Place. Stacy Place teaches us at Metcalf right now. She does the beginning band program. She took over that program when Mr. Smith retired. Many people will remember Mr. Smith. He's taught here for a very, very long time before he retired. We also have Mrs. Sheff, who teaches chorus at the Metcalf School and Walloon schools, and those are our other music teachers.
Why is the music education so important?
Well, it's important for so many reasons. I would say that there's 2 basic reasons. One's called utilitarian reason, and one's called aesthetic. The utilitarian reason is that music can be used for all sorts of purposes, good purposes. You can learn math by studying music. You can learn different languages by singing in different languages and studying different languages using music. You can learn about history and culture in music. In fact, today a student sang to me a song in the hallway, and it was the table of elements, the scientific table of elements. I don't even think I'm saying that right, but he sang a song that had every single element in it, and he used that song to help him memorize it. I also heard students sing a song to help them learn the names of the states of the United States of America. So there's some song that goes through 50 states. So those are the practical reasons why we use music. But most importantly, there is nothing else in the world like music. It is completely unique. Even though we have the visual arts, and we have drama, and poetry, and dance, those are all arts. But there's nothing like music. So kids need to learn music because it's the only thing of its kind.
And can you say what other opportunities does the music program provide?
Our music program provides so many opportunities. My students, not only can they be in chorus or my guitar class that I teach in the high school, or my piano class that I teach in the high school, but I also send students to do all-state auditions so they can perform in the all-state chorus. We send students to do solo and ensemble festivals so they can receive medals for doing a good job in solo and ensemble. I send students to be in other groups such as the Junior Providence Singers. I have some guys that are going to the Junior Providence Singers All Men's Chorus Festival. We send band kids, Mr. Shrest that is, sends band students to the New England Honor Band, and all these different groups that you have to audition to get into, so there's tons of opportunities.
What's your favorite part about being a music teacher?
Well, it's definitely the students. Working with students is my favorite thing to do, because I feel very grateful I get to share what I love the most with those students. I get to watch them learn music and learn to love music as much as I do. But it's a joy watching kids grow and watching students become better musicians. It's very gratifying for me, and I love putting on the concerts, and I enjoy the great sounds that the kids make when they learn their instruments or learn how to use their voices.
How was the first concert?
You mean the very, very, very first one, or you mean this year's first concert?
Oh,
Oh, they're all great. Some are better than others, but over the years they've gotten better and better. I've done a better job at learning how to prepare students, and music is graded by level of difficulty. So a teacher can order a piece of chorus music that's either a level 1 or a level 6. 6, very complicated, more like professional level. Same thing with band music, grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as the years go on, Mr. Shress and I both were working on graded level music that might have been 2s or 3s or 4s, intermediate level, difficult music but not too difficult. And now I know that he has the band occasionally doing level 5 and level 6. That's the highest level possible for senior high band. In my senior high chorus, on occasions we'll work on music that's at that really high level.
how many instruments do you play?
Me personally, well, I always wanted to be a band director or a music teacher, so I wanted to learn as many instruments as possible. I started on piano, chopsticks, ding, 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 when I was about 5 years old, and I took piano lessons. Then I wanted to be in the band. When I got into 5th grade, I learned how to play clarinet. I wanted to play in a rock band, so I learned how to play guitar, and I learned how to play drums. And the whole time I've been singing. So the other thing is when you're at college getting a music degree, you have to take a brass class, which means you learn how to play trumpet and trombone. You have to take a woodwind class. You have to learn how to play oboe and flute. You have to take a percussion class so you know how to play snare drum and tambourines. You have to take a string class so you can learn how to play violin and viola. So I learned all those instruments. You have to take a piano class, a voice class. I think that's it. Boy, that's a lot.
How do you feel your recent holiday concert went?
Well, it was a beautiful concert. It was a nice different styles of music. We had some serious holiday music and some more lighter, more fun songs about snow and the cold season, the winter season, and holiday tunes. It was very, very nice that we had a family volunteer to decorate the auditorium. It came out very beautiful. It was actually Ali's family that helped. They put lights everywhere and Christmas trees, and it looked nice, and it sounded great. The students did great.
Why should students join chorus?
Why should they join chorus? Well, I don't know if it'll happen to them what happened to me, but it was like a bug that bit me. The first time I sang in chorus, I sang in chorus was when I was in church. I was in a church choir, and I liked it. I didn't take it very seriously, but I really liked it. And then in high school, I was in concert bands, but then when I went to college, I was required to take chorus. My major was piano, so I didn't play in the band. You don't have piano in the band. I sang in the chorus, and it was like I got this bug. I suddenly loved it because we started to do all kinds of music. And so maybe that'll happen to my students. They might get the bug too, and they might love it and go on and do other musical things.
Thank you.
You will.
Well, I think it's about time to wrap it up. So thank you for coming, Mr. Runner, and thank you to our panelists.
Thank you for inviting me. I had a great time.
Hi, I'm Ryan McKenna,
And I'm Lacey Griffin.
and we have been your hosts for today.
Okay, this was the Student Voice, and tune in next month for our segment on sports.